All right, you're being recorded, everybody. So did anybody get an opportunity to practice any of the time management skills from the last Resiliency Champions? Anybody brave enough to unmic and say yes or no? And if yes, what impact it had or what their experience was? Then I'll jump at once. Well, I've been spending a lot of time looking at the Eisenhower matrix personally. I really liked that one. And then I saw another matrix that kind of goes along with it, and it's like basically looking at kind of something of like what's a good yes and what's a bad yes, and what's a good no and what's a bad no. So the idea of like, I have a really hard time counting people now, and so oftentimes I'll say yes, even if it's stressing myself a little bit because I don't like to tell people no. But then what I read was like, even if you're not saying no to the person who directly asked you a question, you're indirectly saying no to something else. And that could be something more important, like time with your partner or your family, or it could be, you know, time that you could always be using to take care of you and your own mental health. And like, everybody needs to refresh and recharge. So basically, like, there's cost to not saying no. So it's knowing when is a good time and when is a bad time to say no. So that kind of mixed in with the Eisenhower matrix is what I've been thinking about a lot for the last 2 weeks. And I know sometimes I have a hard time with people hearing me on my headset, depending on which ones I use. So please let me know if you're not able to hear me well or clearly. A little muffled. Okay, thanks, Paul. Let's see if this works.
Okay, is that better?
I can hear you, Tracy. Are you able to hear me? My sound was a little funny.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. I love the check-ins. Coming to you from the line down in Broad Ripple, so hopefully you can see a little bit of it behind me. And it is great to see everyone today. We've been talking about time management, and we had a host of strategies that we wanted to highlight, have you look at, And then each week, try one, maybe two if you're really brave and courageous and have the energy for it. But try those and then see what works for you to just kind of round off your time management or to enhance it. Or, if you need to rebuild in this space, that's an option as well. And Tracy is going to be actively joining us today. Kaylee is at a wellness summit, so that's pretty exciting, and we can't wait to hear what she has when she comes back with all of the information from that particular summit. And Carly is there with her too. So very, very exciting from the wellness end, which of course Resiliency Champions is a part of all of that too. So Tracy will be jumping in, and the great thing about that is you guys know that Tracy has a lot of different time management strategies that she uses very, very effectively. And I think that we all, myself included, stand to learn a lot from her. So a great quote, this is a really good one for me today: either run the day or the day runs you. And the point of all of this series, this is number 2 in a 3-parter, is that we are in control of our time. We do have choices. Sometimes we feel like it all is maybe coming at us or happening to us. We can step up and make choices or use different strategies to control our time. So as we jump into that, we had some strategies that we were using or dove into last session 2 weeks ago. And I'm just wondering, as you look at these, we've talked about several of them that you see up here. The green ones are the ones we've covered already. We first had the TED Talk on relentlessly triaging your priorities. I can tell you I have used that a ton since then, and I continue to see really good ways to get better at differentiating between what needs to be green, what needs to be yellow, and what really just needs to come off the list. So setting those priorities. And then the Pareto analysis, which is the 80-20 rule, the Pomodoro technique, and the Eisenhower matrix. So Tracy and anyone else, any observations or experiences in trying any of these techniques that you care to share today? This is always our quiet group. Thank you, Tracy.
Well, I was sharing with the group right as you were logging in that personally I've used the or been thinking a lot about using the Eisenhower matrix. That one has worked really well, and actually Jeff has been using the Pomodoro technique as well. So that's my husband. For I think everybody on this call knows that, but that's my husband. And he said he's been using that one a lot and feels like he's been really productive with it. So, because yeah, I'm a big old nerd and I share everything that I do and learn at work with him. So,
yeah, and that's a great point, Tracy.